everyone. It's Millissa, Jayne, Lauderhill TV here. Eric and the Jazzers. How are you doing, sir?
Doing okay, Millissa. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You're looking good, man.
Yeah, a little something, something I threw together. I had a meeting earlier today, so between the time I spoke to you earlier and now, I had to just come back from a meeting.
Okay.
But how you doing? You're looking good too.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You know, we're still back. Just a few weeks into the new season. This will be our fourth show, I believe, and people are still getting used to the Tuesday night. So I'm going to ask everybody who's watching right now if you could just go ahead and do what we normally do. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Go ahead and like the post and also share. And feel free to join in the conversation. You can comment. You can leave some shout outs or whatever. And also when we come to the end of this, which is only going to last about 10 minutes or so, you are welcome to come up and share your own events or your own business or whatever you'd like to share. It's an open door policy here. So welcome everybody. Again, we've missed you and we are happy to be back. And just as a reminder again, one time, Lauderhill TV is live every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. All right. So, Eric, we want to know, let's see, Kurt is here as well. Welcome, Kurt. Who is Eric and the Jazzers? Introduce yourself to everybody.
Well, as long as we've known each other, Millissa, you still don't know who I am. No, but before I begin, I like to thank you for allowing me to come in and utilizing Lauderhill TV as a platform to basically promote jazz in general, because it's not only one place, but it's several places that we do perform and all. And I'm also happy that you're doing it now on a Tuesday as opposed to a Thursday, because usually that's when we kick off our jazz nights. But without further ado, obviously, my name is Eric Trio, originally from the Boogie Down Bronx, New York.
Boogie Down Bronx.
Oh yeah, came down in Florida in 1990. Make a long story short, I've always had this passion for the jazz music. And when I talk of jazz, a lot of people, they really don't understand where I'm coming from. But the jazz that I'm talking about is an American art. It's what we call the swing, the bebop. It's the Miles Davis, the Coltrane, the Dizzy Gillespie, the Ella Fitzgerald, Nina Simone type of jazz. You have a lot of other types of jazz, which I'm not knocking, but that's my passion.
Right.
And what drives me is simply keeping it vibrant in the community. You just don't find it that often. You can find a lot of other genres out there, but the jazz that I'm talking about is very, very, I kid you not. I live in Coral Springs. I've been living in Coral Springs since I moved down from New York, 1990. I would have to travel from Coral Springs to South Beach just to hear some real jazz, what I call real jazz, because they just didn't have it available. And I was fortunate years ago to run into the Mustafas. The Mustafas, iconic family. Me, Melton Mustafa, Melton Sr., God rest his soul. He was the professor of historical Black college over there, Florida Memorial, North Miami. And he opened up his jazz department to the community, whether or not you're a beginner, intermediate, and or professional. Come on down, and he'll assign one of his students who were all graduating with music degrees to everyone, and they would get their hours, that community service hours they had to get as a condition to graduate. And we, the population, were getting free lessons. So started playing the drums, started reading notes, got into it, started a band called Eric and the Jazzers. Half my members, again, God rest their soul, they're gone. They've met their creators, Juju, remember Juju Johnson, and Burkhardt, and recently Doc Allison. Anyway, I took sort of like a break for a while. We were hitting all sorts of places, Blue Jean Blues, we were doing the casinos, we all over the place. And then, of course, COVID came along and took a break from that. And it's just recently that I started getting back in. But rather than playing, obviously, in the many years that I've been doing this down here, I got to meet a lot of musicians, a lot of professional musicians. And I thought I was a drummer. When it comes to the guys that are playing now, these guys ran circles around me. So rather than playing, I primarily manage, promote, market. The bottom line is that I want to keep this level. One thing I won't do is compromise on the music. You mentioned we play every Thursday night at a place called Icon Lounge, which is in Lauderhill, right there on University Drive, just south of Commercial Boulevard. And the owner there, we were playing with him when he owned Crave, if you remember Crave. And we were doing Crave like perhaps once a month. And it was a big show, Friday night type thing and all that. And he called me and he asked me if I can develop something for him on a Thursday at Icon. And I jumped on it. I said, absolutely. I want to get back in the swing of things. And we've been doing this now for about 3 months. Every Thursday. There's no cover charge, plenty of parking and all. And again, my mission is to keep this music vibrant in the community. So I welcome anyone that loves jazz, even if you don't like jazz. The atmosphere that we create at this place on a Thursday night is a very intimate setting. It's a very mature, I'd like to call it sophisticated selling. So there are a lot of people my age, I won't count you in this, Millissa, but people in my age, there aren't that many places that we can go without having to, scream at each other at the table, like can't hear you because the music's like, this isn't a club, it's a lounge. So you can talk with your partner at the table, whoever that may be, and the music's still going. And when I talk about the music, it's real music.
I've been following you with your music for many, many years, since you first started. I don't know. It was back then at Blue Jean Blues, and I followed you. You did something in Coral Springs. You did something at Crave. You did something now at Icon Lounge, which again you said it's a nice atmosphere. It's cool in there. It's nice. You've got a great big stage. You've got nice seating. Obviously, you've got the bar, you've got, even some old other seating area around. People come, they chill, they have fun. And it's just a nice atmosphere. Parking is free and parking is plentiful. And there's no cover charge whenever you do these events. And multiple people come through. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the acts, some of the musicians that you've had come through in the recent years.
In the recent time that I was at Icon, I kid you not, it's unbelievable. I'm still, Sharon, if you're listening, I'm still waiting on your brother to swing through. Randy is an unbelievable sax player. But nevertheless, I encourage that. There's a saying that money attracts money. Well, good music attracts good music. And a lot of people that play, when you go to school and you study music, they tend to teach you jazz. You tend to read charts, notes, scales in a jazz format. Unfortunately, because jazz, I would say, is a dying breed, you don't get that elbow to elbow type of audience in a jazz setting. So with that said, a lot of owners of these various lounges, clubs, they're concentrated, which I can respect. They're concentrated on their register. They want to make sure that they make money. Most of the people that come to the jazz shows are an older crowd as opposed to a younger. I sound like a broken record when I say that I have 3 children, and the youngest one is 30, and neither of them come to my shows, to be honest, because again, they're not into it yet. But I hope that I'm still walking on this planet when that light goes off their head. But to answer your question, musicians are coming out of the woodworks because they have now an opportunity to play what they study. And they go on stage and they sit in. And again, I encourage that. So we will have a group that'll play the first set, which will be from 8 to 9. Then they'll take a half-hour break from 9 to 9:30. And then usually from 9:30 to 10:30, stretching it to 11, we will have people just coming in and just offering everyone their God-given talent. Now, it's not a talent show, mind you. These people they are truly musicians. One thing, I will not compromise on the music, I will not lower it, but these people have been unbelievable. They came in. Matter of fact, last week we had Candy Rivers that came through, and she came. Really? She was the one that when you and I went was it Friday for Juneteenth? Yeah, she showed up and she came on stage and she did her thing. So as an example,
I missed that one, but I've seen some real cool musicians, vocalists, trumpeters, You know,
I mean,
guitar players, just it's just a good night, and it's like you
Yeah.
say, it's for the mature crowd. It's
Yes.
for the mature crowd, so you don't have to worry about kids or madness.
Exactly. Exactly. You don't
Right.
have that drama that comes with the younger crowd when you go out. And again, there aren't that many places that people of our age, my age, I'm sorry,
All right.
can go without having to, feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a totally, totally nice vibe. And I encourage your listeners to give it a shot if you haven't done so yet. Icon Lounge on University of Lauderhill.
All right, Jayne, it was such a nice thing when you decided to have it in Lauderhill, because I was able to just give it all of my attention, because of course we're doing Lauderhill TV, and so it was a good job that you chose Lauderhill.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank
All right,
you.
guys, that is our show for tonight. Eric, thank you so much for making time to come on the show, as always, and I will see you out there. Hopefully.